This is the Greater Buffalo Press Story. This presentation will introduce you to the Greater Buffalo Press, its history, its people, and its plants. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jack Koessler, President of the Greater Buffalo Press.
I'm Jack Koessler, and I want to welcome you to the Greater Buffalo Press Story. During the next few minutes, we'll take a look at the Greater Buffalo Press, our history, our people, and perhaps we can see into the future a bit. I hope you'll enjoy this presentation and gain some insight into our company. 54 years ago, J. Walter Koessler, my father, had a dream that would see a $3,000 investment grow into a multi-million-dollar printing industry. With this modest start, Walter, together with two associates, John Tranter and Charles Freiberg, planted the seed for a colorful future. This seed was the purchase of a small print shop on Tonawanda Street in Buffalo, New York. With this purchase, the Greater Buffalo Press Story began growing and blossoming. In those early days, a single flatbed press handled all the work for our company. Most of the work back then consisted of small community newspapers like the Cold Spring Advertiser with a circulation of 6,000 copies per week, and the International Gazette, a legal publication with approximately 1,300 copies per week. It was, however, the small weekly run of the International Gazette that helped keep the presses running during the Depression years. One of the mainstays of the Gazette was the printing of property foreclosure notices. The Depression forced the column space for these notices to be increased from 2 columns to 12 columns. As our business grew, the operation moved to another location on Hurdle Avenue, and additional presses were installed. It became clear to my father that if Greater Buffalo Press was going to fulfill its commitment to its customers, a move to a larger facility would be necessary. In 1932, Greater Buffalo Press moved to 1245 Niagara Street in Buffalo. The move not only cured the overcrowding problem, but made room for a newly purchased 4-color press. The addition of color allowed them to obtain contracts to print comic sections of a large number of newspapers, including the prestigious Chicago Times. But color presses running all of the time, the Greater Buffalo Press could print the comic sections at a lower cost and with better quality than the individual newspapers could. In 1936, Greater Buffalo Press's reputation for high quality and low cost once again forced a move to larger quarters. This time to 302 Grove Street, the location that now serves as our corporate headquarters. At about the same time, John A. Koessler, my grandfather, and Kenneth Koessler, my uncle, purchased the remaining shares from John Tranter and Charles Freiberg, making the Greater Buffalo Press a family-owned business. Papa John and Uncle Kenneth were more than just investors. They were working partners and innovators, in the true sense of the word. My grandfather was a master machinist who contributed much technical ability to the company, while my uncle served as secretary-treasurer and later chairman of the board. After hours, they could usually be found talking with my father about ways to improve efficiency. Some of their innovations have become standards in the printing industry. Innovations like 5-plate cylinders and pre-press registry have saved both time and materials. By the late 40s, it was again necessary to increase our plant size. But this time, my father decided to add new plants rather than expand the present operation. Through the years, we have continued to increase our production capabilities.